welcome to the Ops Room. My name is Matthew Watts, and if this is your first time, then a really big welcome to you. This is an informal live monthly Q&A where we talk about business operations, automation, system strategy, marketing, sales, tools, and most importantly, tech. There's no agenda, I have no slides, I have no pitch. All I'm doing is answering the questions that have been sent in to me, and I'm going to demonstrate them and troubleshoot them live on the call. Now, last week was really cool. I covered a new feature inside GoHighLevel, which is the video testimonial collector. And the responses I had were really interesting. A lot of people came back to me saying that they're not even using the reputation management feature at all. Ugh, why not? Social proof is key. It helps your clients to stay confident. It gives your leads confidence that they're following and talking to the right person. It makes sales easier. It makes you feel good because you're seeing the positive feedback that people are giving you. And you know that on those hard days, what you're doing is making a difference. Okay. So gathering testimonials via the reputation management feature inside GoHighLevel is critical. So that's what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover review requests, NPS surveys, some automations that trigger things at the right moment, and how to write a request that people are actually going to read and respond to. Okay, I've had some really good questions come in. I've kind of categorized them into these 5 sections, and we're going to go through them one by one. If something comes up that you would like an answer to, please just pop it in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, pop it in the comment and I will get back to you. Alrighty, so let me just move my notes out of the way. Let's bring Zoom back and let's go to an up level to a GoHighLevel account. Okay, so the first question I want to cover today is I've connected Google to GoHighLevel, but I've never sent a review request to anyone. Where do I start? Okay, well, what I want to do is just make sure that we've connected our review platforms in the right way. So that's going to be the first thing, because when you connect Google to GoHighLevel, it can, well, it does connect in a lot of different ways. Yeah, that's a good size. Let's stick with that. Okay, so it can connect in lots of different ways. One, you can connect your Gmail account, which is great. You can connect your Google Calendar, which is great. You can connect your Google Business Profile, which is what we're talking about. So there's 3 different ways that you've connected Google to your account. I want to make sure we're talking about, oh, and you can connect it to the social media scheduler as well. So there's 4 different ways. So let's make sure that we're talking about the same thing. So what we're going to do is come down here down the left-hand side, down to reputation management. And this is one of my favorite places. Let's go to, oh no, let's stay here. So we're going to go to settings and down the left-hand side here, we're going to go to integrations and we're going to look for GBP, Google Business Profile. This one down here. I thought it was blue. One of those days, my friends, one of those days. So we're going to connect. Which account do we want to connect? Well, I'm going to connect that one. Great. So you can see we've got the green up here, submitted, being processed. So I'm going to go back to this and let's have a request. It is a pretty straightforward process. Sometimes it's a little bit of back and forth, like anything with technology, which can be a little frustrating. Looks like it's going to take just a little bit of time for that connection to come through, which is a bit frustrating as I'm trying to demonstrate this to you live. We're going to jump down here to our Google Business. And let's try a different account. Now, actually, I was just thinking it is probably failing because I have this connected to my real GoHighLevel account as opposed to this um, demo account. So that is likely going to be the cause of the failure. But let's see if this connects. If it doesn't, oh yeah, that has. Splendid. So now we're going to hit go back. And you can see we have our review link here. Okay. So that's the basic setup done. As I said, you might need to play around with it a little bit, but typically you'll find that it works pretty well. Um, so now that we know that we've got the correct Google account connected, I can return to my question. Review requests. Okay, so I've connected to Google to GoHighLevel, but I've never sent a review request to anyone. Where do I even start? Okay, great. So now we've clarified your connection's correct. What do we do? Well, the first thing that I would do is pick your last 10 clients or the 10 best clients the 10 clients you have the best relationship with. Um, Grab this link, put it in an email and say, hey, it's been great working with you. Um, you know, I really would like to find more clients like you. Best way I can do that is through reviews. Please, could you take 2 minutes to leave a review for me on Google? And then they click on that and they leave you an outstanding review. Something that simple is going to get you a nice, even if 5 out of 10 of those do it, then that's 5 more reviews than you had. They're all going to be good because you've chosen the right people. So that's exactly where you're going to start. Just do it manually. Okay. Um, do it personally. Send it from your own email, and capture those first 5, 10 reviews. Okay. That way, they're going to be excellent. The people that you have a good relationship with, their problems. So you'll be able to tailor that message really, really well. Okay. Most people try and automate the whole thing before they know what works, before they know what to put in the email, before they know when to send the email, before they know how to choose who to send the email to. So that's where you start. Make sure you're connected, grab that link, put it into an email or a WhatsApp to the 10 clients you have the best relationship with and ask them directly for a review. All right. So that leads nicely on to the next question that we've got. Actually, let me check LinkedIn. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that leads nicely on to the next question, which is what's the best point to ask for a review or a testimonial from a client? So the best point to ask for that review, to ask for that video testimonial, if you're going to use the collective we went through last week, the best point is at the moment of maximum happiness. Okay? The moment of maximum happiness, whenever that might be for you and your clients. I'll tell you when it isn't. It isn't at the end of the contract. It isn't at the end of the relationship. It's never at the end of the relationship. Okay. The moment of maximum happiness typically is somewhere between the end of onboarding and that first 6 months. Because in there, you're going to achieve the low-hanging fruit. You're going to solve most of the problems that they've come to you for, or the most significant problem. There's going to be some kind of milestone that you achieve with your clients in that first onboarding to 3 to 6 months. It could even be quicker than that. It might be 6 to 8 weeks. Depends who you are and which clients you work with. But in that period, that very, very soon initial period, is going to be a moment of maximum happiness where the reasons that they joined you, that they signed the contract, that they paid the invoice, that they joined the sales call, whatever it was, the reasons that motivated them to say yes to you will have been solved. That is when you send your testimonial request, your video testimonial request, your review request. That's when you do it. Okay. Um, every service business follows the same kind of process. Whether you know you're following it or not, the good ones have a system that they follow, a signature system that they follow when they work with people. But every service business, has some kind of process. There is a recurring milestone that happens early on. Find yours. Identify what it is and when it happens and what the surrounding context is. And that is where we're going to create the automation trigger that sends out this request to people. Okay. Because, I mean, you can do it manually forever and ever and ever. It isn't a complicated process. It doesn't take a great deal of time to craft an email, to grab a link. But it does rely on you remembering. So if we can automate that process, then that's going to be better. Okay. So let me show you what that would look like. So we're going to go back to our left-hand menu. We're going to go to automations. Now, how you track that recurring milestone, that moment of maximum happiness, will depend on what it is. Okay. It will depend on what it is. Slightly too soon for this. But once you figure out what that is, then you're going to add your trigger. So it might be, what might it be? Maybe when you solve this problem for them, you add a tag to say milestone 1 complete. I don't know. Maybe you send them a note. Maybe, what else have we got here? Maybe there's a form that they have to complete at the end of the first quarterly meeting. Maybe that's when all the good stuff happens. Whatever that moment is, that's where this automation trigger is going to live. It will be different depending on who you are and who you serve and how you operate. If you want to have a conversation about how you would identify that and how you would then automate it, how to create this trigger, let me know. Not a problem at all. Just drop a message in the comments or send me a direct message. For now, let's just assume that we're going to add a tag. And it's going to be milestone 1. A lot of the people I work with are accountants and bookkeepers, CFOs, and I know that in that first period of working with them, there are a few things that they do. They do the zero cleanup. They get them onto all the software. They do that first quarterly review. They do a budget. They do a forecast. And those moments make everybody really happy. One, the service provider, because they love doing it, and two, the recipient, because they're getting all the things they were promised and they can see the progress happening. So at the end of that point, perhaps, could be a good point to go, right, milestone 1 done, or deliverable 5 delivered, whatever your tag is going to be. And that would be the trigger for this email. And again, the email will be different depending on who you are and who you serve, but it's going to look roughly something like this. Okay, it's going to be email 1, review request. Always put the kind of objective of the email in the name. From email. Subject. Quick question for you. And then I've kind of pre-written this, so let's just pop it in. So we're going to go, hey, we're going to put in our merge field. Hey, Bob. And then you can see we've got these here. All right. Hi, Bob. You've just completed your first month, hit your first result, finished onboarding, had your first quarterly meeting, completed your software migration, done the approval of your website's wireframe, whatever that thing is that's going to hit them really hard and help them achieve that moment of maximum happiness. Okay. And I wanted to reach out personally. Okay. So this isn't personal, but we need to make it feel personal. It needs to feel specific. It needs to feel personal. It needs to reference the milestone. That's why we're having the name. That's why we're talking about this. That's why we're saying I'm reaching out personally to make it feel like a human to human interaction. Okay. Working with you on whatever the thing is, okay, has been great. And I hope you're already feeling why ever they made the purchase with you in the first place. Okay. The result that they've come for, the outcome, the objective they want to achieve. If you are, I'd love it if you could take 60 seconds to leave us a Google review. You might also put in here, leave us or create a video testimonial. And then you could use the video testimonial collector link. Makes a huge difference to the business and helps other authors of children's books or whoever your clients are find us. Here is the link. Okay. And here's my review link. And I'm just going to pop that into there. And we're going to open that in a new window. All right. So there you have it. And then you're just going to put your name at the end. We'll put my name. Okay, it doesn't need to be long-winded. This isn't a sales letter. This is a, hey, can I ask you a favor letter? Okay, don't put pressure on them. Just remind them about the good things and then say, hey, could you leave me a review? So when you remind them about the good things that they've achieved, you're doing it for two reasons. So they know what to talk about when they give you that video testimonial or that written review. And two, to create a little bit of reciprocity, okay, to put them slightly in debt. So then they feel like they owe something to you, and they're more likely to leave that review for you, okay? So that's it. That's it. Nice and simple. Now, what we could then do is create a few more of these. And so uh, they get reminded a couple of times until they've left that review. That's entirely up to you. I personally am not a huge fan of placing loads of pressure on people, particularly if I'm asking for a favor. I don't want to damage the relationship by constantly bombarding them with a message about leave me a review, leave me a review. That's how I feel about it. I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. That's just how I feel and how I operate. That decision is entirely up to you. If you wanted to add more of these, that isn't a problem at all. We're going to add a little wait. How long do we want to wait? It might be, let's just say until they've clicked the link, and then we would use a trigger link. So we know when they've clicked on that. Okay, and then that's going to remove them from this workflow. And then you can create your follow-up messages. But for the purpose of this example, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go, right, milestone 1, send that email, get that review. Everybody's a winner. Okay. Right. Next question. How do I automate review requests without coming across as spammy? Well, I've kind of covered that, I think. It's one request, one follow-up. I don't even do that one follow-up, but then stop. The businesses that damage their reputations are the ones that send lots and lots of messages. So you're trying to capture the good feeling from this person so that they can put it onto the internet and promote your business and develop goodwill and provide social proof. Uh, Sending lots and lots of messages trying to get that review is damaging the goodwill that they feel to you, and it is counterproductive. So one request, one follow-up, that's it. Okay, two messages, then stop. Um, yeah, that's it. I could carry on and try and explain why a little bit more, but I don't need to. Um, One request, one follow-up, done. Okay, we're all grown-ups. If they haven't done it at that point, they're not going to. So don't worry about it. And then what was this next one? Okay, yeah. So that was right. Uh, and the last one is NPS surveys. Should I be running one, and how can I set it up? Okay, so if you don't know already, an NPS survey is what's called Net Promoter Score. You're trying to find out how someone feels about your business and whether they would be promoting you to other people or not. They are really, really simple. They're really, really short, and the results can be used as an automation trigger inside your account. Um, which is actually what this review engine here is all set up to do. So this is definitely how I would go about setting it up. I would definitely be using it um, for two different reasons, and let me kind of walk you through it. So there's four parts to this little review engine that we've got. Um, First one is sending this message. How would you rate us on a scale of 1 to 10? That's pretty simple. Um, we want to make sure everyone's happy. We're constantly striving to be better. So you're framing it as they're the expert and that their opinion is significantly important. People like to feel important, and they're going to want to give you their opinion. Uh, and actually, there is a slightly different way we can do this now. Let me show you what that looks like. Right, where are we? So if we go to, and I have been using this with my up-level clients. I will update this snapshot later today. So if we go to emails, there is pre-built Net Promoter Score in here. So let me go to new, and we're going to go to blank. That's fine. We're going to go drag and drop. So let me grab this text. Okay. So here we are in the drag and drop builder, and we're going to create this NPS survey. Okay, and we want to add an item, add an element, and we're just going to scroll down here to where is it gone? Where is it gone? Oh, good gosh, it's not even here anymore. Review link, no. Spacer, no. Where has it disappeared to? Right. Yeah. Funnels and sites. Let's go surveys. Okay. Is it a feature in surveys? No. Ah, there it is. Although that isn't the way I remember it. Okay, let's have a look at this then. Pum pum pum. Stars. Let's make this 10. Okay, yeah. Um, let's make this great. Okay, so this is what we want. Okay, so you would create your little survey here. We're going to call this NPS survey. And then we're going to come back to our little form, our little email, and we're going to put the link to our survey so that when they click on it, it takes them to just this page. Style it however you want. Sorry about that complete lack of ideas there. Oh. Where that was. We're going to add our little link here, and we're going to want that in a new window. They're going to click on that. This is going to open like this. It's going to look different because you've made it look all beautiful. And they're going to go, I think you're great. Yeah. And then they're going to hit submit. Now, what we want to happen then is they'll get, if they say 9 or 10, you're great. Then they get redirected to leave a review for you. Okay. So if we go to reputation, and we just capture this. So off the back of this review, when they submit it, we're going to redirect them to a URL, and that's going to take them to leave a review straight away. Okay. So if I refresh this, I'll show you exactly what I mean. Do that, and then redirected. Now I own this, so I can't leave a review. Or maybe I can. Uh, and this is what they'll see. Leave a review for me straight away. What you can also do is, so if they leave you a review and let's say it's a 7, a 1 to 7 or a 1 to 8, then you can send yourself a message saying, right, Bob has sent a really low score. This was the score he gave. Call them on this phone number, find out why, see how you can fix it. So sending these kinds of surveys out isn't just about how can you get a review, it's also about how can you keep your finger on the pulse of how your clients feel about your services. It captures slightly unhappy people before they would leave a complaint or tell their friends that it's not good, and lets you fix that problem. So maybe you send this out once every 3 months. Maybe you send it out after those big milestones that you help people achieve. Maybe you send it out in the middle of achieving those big milestones. So there's peaks when you achieve them, and there's troughs when they're doing the work, when you're doing the work. Maybe send it here and see how they feel. This is a really, really good way to make sure that you understand how your clients feel and what is going on inside your business. Um, so I strongly, 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 strongly recommend using a Net Promoter Score survey to A, feed reviews, and B, stay in touch with your clients. It's very easy for clients in a meeting to say, yeah, everything's amazing, but then to go to their friends at lunch and say, it's terrible, it's not moving as quickly as I want, blah, blah, blah. So if you can get that feedback, you can better resolve it and turn people who are slightly unhappy into raving fans that send you more clients. All right. Um, Let me just jump back to my notes. Yeah, that's the last question I had today. Um, Net Promoter Score, you should be running it. You can set it up in GoHighLevel. It isn't where I thought it was, so you know I'm doing this live. And it is really, really easy to set up and use. You saw how quickly I got that set up once I found it. All I would do now is maybe just change the way this looks a little bit. So we're going to call this tell us what you think. Uh, yeah, and then that's about it, really, isn't it? That's all it needs to do. Um, do I want that? No, let's keep it above. Just trying to think how we make it a little nicer, but actually it doesn't matter, does it? 10, bad, great, absolute. What does it look like when it's colored? When it's not colored, there's the rating. Yeah, great, that's fine. Um, that's all it needs to do. And then in your automation, the trigger here is going to be form submit or survey submitted. And then you choose the survey. So survey is NPS survey. And then we're going to add a filter that says disqualified is true. So when they give a bad result, um, they'll get sent into that automation. Okay. That should be everything. Just want to make sure that when they submit this, they're going to be analytics. Yeah, great. Required. Yeah. Okay. Use them. Any questions, send them through. Sorry, this has been a little bit all over the shop today. Um, but everything you need is in GoHighLevel as long as you can find it. Uh, thanks for joining me on today's Ops Room. I hope it's been valuable. Um, what I wanted to do was to demonstrate how easy it is to set up the reputation management system and how you can start getting feedback really quickly. So I hope I've done that. Reviews are the lifeblood of a business, particularly in this day and age when there is so much misinformation available. Having another person endorse you is gold. So create these automations, set up your reputation management system, uh, and go out there and get reviews, get video testimonials, because it will transform the way that you do business and the ease with which you bring on new clients, because it yeah That's just the way the human brain works. All right. Thanks, guys. I will see you next time, and I look forward to next week. Ciao.